Journeyer of the long road, name yourself.
I am the summoner Yuna. I have come from the island of Besaid.
Your eyes, my dear, show me the long road you have traveled. Very good. You have journeyed well. Lady Yunalesca will surely welcome your arrival. Go to her now, and bring your guardians with you. Go.
Yes.
Now, this old man here, this unsent that starts disappearing, remember him. If you're going to watch my X-2 Let's Play, remember him. He is one of the biggest, most important characters in that story. He's a fascinating character, really cool, part of the deep lore of the story, but in Final Fantasy X, he just appears as this weird dude that speaks to you at the start of Zanarkand and leaves. Okay, hello everyone, welcome to another video. We are going to spend a couple at least talking about the international stuff. I have to say, I have had a ridiculous amount of fun in this arena. So between last episode and now, I've played a lot of it. I've really learned about how to max characters, about how to get their stats going, about how to teach them things. It's been really, really cool. I really want to show you guys. Obviously, the international content is stuff that not many people know about, not many people show it off, and it's kind of obscure and weird. So I'm pretty excited. Now, first of all, a couple of things that I neglected to mention in previous episodes, starting, of course, with what we opened this episode with. Tremor, man! Oh, it feels so good now that we're done with Tremor to look back at that original comment I made back in 10, talking about how that guy we saw in the Zanarkand Dome may well have been Tremor. It is indeed the exact same character model. I was looking forward to telling you guys about that similarity for so long, and there it is, and that is probably not the last we will have seen of Tremor, but boy, have I got a bit of a story for you guys. Also, now last episode, one of the sections of us going down the Via Infinito got destroyed, and I never managed to finish a thought to you guys. That was about some of the enemies we could fight, and that's Ultima and Omega Weapon. So they do appear as spawns in the Via Infinito, but they're kind of boring in this game. It's kind of cool that Paragon, therefore, is another weapon, and he kind of bolsters them up. But they totally were there, and in fact, the scan description of, I believe it's Ultima Weapon, says, oh, don't call him Atma, which is a reference, I believe, to Final Fantasy VI. So I did want to talk about them a bit. This is also one of the really rare games where Ultimate Weapon is stronger than Omega. Omega's actually the weaker one in this pair, but we'll see more of those depending on how much of this Fiend stuff we do. The other thing about the Via Infinito I wanted to mention were the Megatonbries. There is actually another blue bullet. The hardest one to get in the game is down there. I never had time to really mention it before. But if you manage to oversoul a Megatonbrie, which by the way already is quite hard because it always appears in a battle with a small Tonbrie, and then you never know which one exactly is going to oversoul, and then they're super deadly. But they use an ability called Cry in the Night, and that is basically the hardest blue bullet in the game, which I never managed to show you guys. The pet shop there, by the way, we did rename our trainers, but I don't think we'll probably be seeing them too much of them. Actually, for now, and for the next couple of episodes, you guys aren't going to be seeing very much of the girls at all. I have been grinding their special dress spheres, maxing their stuff out. I probably won't go the whole way with it, because they're so painfully slow. When you're in a special dress sphere, you don't get the power of your garment grids or accessories. So, you lose, like, the 6-time AP trick that I've been doing for everything else. But instead, we'll be checking out some of our other fiends. So, where do we begin? Well, first of all, I'll show you guys the team that I've built, the characters that I've got. We've got Logos, we've got Lulu, and we also have a Mac and a Hunter. I really wanted a Bandolier for you know, the snake machines instead of the one of these guys. Mac and a Hunters and these kind of S-type Machina are really generic for most people who dive into the creature creator a lot because they're really strong. They have an ability called Impale, which ignores all defense and does ridiculous damage in a very short cast time. And so they're obviously really, really strong, and a lot of people like them. But I wanted a Bandolier because I basically have a ridiculous quick hit strategy. I've essentially made Logos a god. So what do I mean I've made him a god? Well, let's show off in the arena, shall we? We do have a couple of spare fiends on us that I'm going to be doing their stories today. Today's going to be a bit of a weird episode, and you will see, because there's a very interesting story. I also think I'm finally narrowing down what's breaking my capture card. I think it's the splitter I use to get around HTCP. And I think it basically is overheating. For now, at least. Hopefully things won't break. So, what we're going to do is we're going to enter a tournament. Now, last I talked to you guys about, we had the Chocobo Cup unlocked, we had the Cactuar Cup unlocked, and we had the Youth League tournament unlocked. All of them I've actually completed several times. When you win these tournaments, if you do them several times in a row, it actually unlocks new enemies that will appear in them. So it's kind of good that I do it off screen and then come to show you guys later. But I can edit in the original rewards we get. Specifically, you want to pay attention to the first reward of the Youth League tournament, which gives you the mascot dress sphere. Yeah, that ridiculous dress sphere, we had to get 100% completion everywhere. That actually is also available here. You can get 2 in one playthrough in International. And the Youth League tournament is hard to deal with, but it's not totally crazy. You actually can unlock this, I guess, in Chapter 1 and have mascot in Chapter 1 without ever leaving the airship right at the start of the game. And boy, that's going to become kind of relevant by the end of the episode, as you guys will see very soon. So we'll check them out in order. First, we've got the Chocobo Cup. Now, to play in the Chocobo Cup, we need a Chocobo on our team. A while ago now, actually, I did go catch a Chocobo. He's level 75, so we'll dump him in. We've got Lulu. She's actually not catnip Lulu anymore. She's doing different stuff. But I'll just show you guys how these guys do, all right? Chocobo Cup is actually very easy. What you find is a bunch of different opponents on the other team that all have Chocobos with them, including the Chocobo on your team. So we managed to get in. These are the goings, as we can see here. Lulu, Logos, and Chocobo. And then these are the compares, okay? We're not necessarily going to see all of them. They're all going to get eliminated in the end. But you've got Chocobo and Pals, which is kind of funny because you've got these Fiend creatures, the creepers that we saw in the Fiend colony that Chocobo unlocked on the Me and High Road. It's kind of cool. You've got the Gaiassel Hunters, which is just 2 Chocobos. You've got Today's Friends, which is the Anything Eater plus a Chocobo. You can barely see the Chocobo in the background there. You got the Chocobo Kings. These guys are probably the hardest. There's 3 of them. They spam Meteor if you let them get turns. You got the 3rd Chocobo unit. He's a Chocobo with 2 Machina. You've got Wild Bird, who's just a guy on his own, and you've got the Fortune Alliance with 2 Salets, I guess. And that's pretty much all that you're really going to see in this group in the runnings. Definitely the Kings are the worst of the lot. Makes me think about Final Fantasy VII and all the Chocobo breeding you used to be able to do there, make different colours and race them and so on. But here we go. So, I'm just going to let my Fiends play out. I'm not even going to max stars them. Watch. Get ready. Guys, we have a god. Logos is insane. He's insane. He's so cool. It's so amazing. This has been the most fun thing. I can't believe it. This feels almost like MMO style. You get to level 99, and then there's a whole new world of progression and stat building you can go through. And boy, oh boy, have I stacked that on my main man, Logos. It is so cool. I have to share with you guys how we've got him to this strength. But basically, Logos will... He's insanely fast, and he will blow the crap out of everything before anyone else can really get an attack because his attacks are so fast. All he knows how to do at the moment are 2 abilities. One to heal himself, and the other to quick attack. It's basically quick hit from the first game. Super fast charging. He's got auto haste on him, ridiculous agility. It's insane, okay? So every time, just watch very closely Logos. Logos will annihilate this tournament. He will annihilate the next tournament, and then we'll talk about the Youth League one just after that. But so really, he's going to steal the show here. Here's the Kings. Naturally, they get to the finale. Are they a threat to us? Of course not. 23,000 damage on a random single quick attack. And by the way, he chains like mad. Yeah, we're not going to have any problems. And there you go. That's the Chocobo Cup. Now, these cups are structured in a really interesting way with their rewards. Because they tend to give you very potent things. That Rabbite's Foot, for example, is really, really, really strong. We already know it's plus 100 luck. Should only be able to get from the elusive as a rare drop from the elusive Jumbo Cactuar. And actually, you can feed that to Fiends to permanently increase their luck, which makes it a particularly good bit of gear for the Fiend Arena, okay? So, all 3 of these tournaments, the final ones that I can unlock here, all have big, important things, okay? Another example of some gear you can get from that is the Minerva's Plate. Remember the super obscure magic gear we got from the Hypello thing in Macalania Forest? Minerva's Plate comes from there as well, so that's something. All right, let's just move straight on to the Cactuar Cup. Of course, we need a Cactuar to qualify, so we'll just get rid of our level 76 Chocobo and drop in a level 94 Cactuar here. Yeah, I've been playing a lot, guys. I've only won this one 3 times. The requirements is to have a Cactuar in the team. Let's just jump straight in. I'll show you guys the rosters. I think usually there are more things that can appear in any single tournament, so we might miss out on a couple, but here we go. So you got Team Islaya, who's got a ghost with him. You got the Jumbo Cactuar actually participates in this tournament. He's probably the worst. Areg and Eroja, who once we beat, if you remember before, actually joined just the regular battle menus. Ereo and Brother, Barcella's Love, Mushroom Tormea, and Freya gang. So some Cactuars plus some other stuff. Generic fiends. Lulu may not seem like she's doing anything. The Cactuar may not. Well, the Cactuar and the Chocobo are kind of just filler because we need them for these tournaments. But when we get the Machina guy in, they may not seem like they're doing very much. But when we get to the more difficult fights, they perform really key roles and interesting ways of playing the mechanics of the game that I'm eager to show you guys. So there we get an Oversold Cactuar that survived 2 hits. And the Jumbo Cactuar died before he even really got to do very much. There is a glaring weakness here to Logos, by the way. If someone manages to attack him, he'll learn, like, his multi-attack ability. Or he'll learn regular attack, and then the AI will start favoring those instead of quick attack. And he'll actually slow down. So after he gets hit, he gets weaker. And that last part, because you can't make him unlearn between battles. That means that the longer the tournaments go on, the more rungs they have, the more likely it is Logos is going to get hit by something, and the weaker he is come the final. And it's kind of, I don't think anything that the devs were planning for, but a really interesting mechanic that sort of balances him a little bit. He's not even the most broken fiend as you can get, but still, there you go. He is definitely one of my favorites. We get an Oath Veil here. So the cool thing about the Cactuar Cup is you get these accessories that give you massive stat boosts, just huge chunks of raw stats coming in. That tends to be what the rewards you get from the Cactuar Cup. But what's really important is being able to clear the Youth League Cup. And the Youth League Cup is a couple of notches above. I've farmed this a lot, but it took me a long time before I could get to the stage where I could farm it a lot. So let's get rid of our Cactuar now. These guys are ready for releasing, which are things we're actually going to be doing in this video. But we'll drop our Machina Hunter in there, okay? And we'll try out the Youth League tournament. I'll show you guys probably 2 runs through this tournament. Hopefully we wipe on one of them because some of these enemy teams are quite devastating. So let's check it out. We did see this on the series before. You got the Runso Hardliners. Remember, these are the guys where 2 of them are really squishy. One is like super tanky. Showed that off on the series before, was awful. Yivil is undoubtedly the easiest, most pathetic pushover enemy in the entire thing. And it's quite lucky if you get against him. Lucille on her own. She's fairly deadly too, but for my team she'll be fine. You got Barreleye. Barreleye is definitely one of the 3 hardest. You've got Elma. She's also pretty tough. Nuge is the 2nd hardest of the entire arena. He actually has a special ability called Starfall that, regardless of how many stars you have, regardless of any kind of defense, always does 5,000 damage to everyone. So if you don't have 5,000 health or a way to heal up after it, he'll blow you up with that. And actually, funnily enough, Lulu is here. So you can have Lulu v Lulu because Lulu's on our team. And not only is there Lulu, but Kamari can appear here as well after you've beat the Hardliners. So here you go. Here's Logos critting that guy every attack from behind. He's going to go for a Mighty Guard. Watch how cheeky this is. He casts the Mighty Guard, which is a spell which stalls out everyone's animations. So Logos can't keep attacking. We'll slow-mo this so you guys can see, all right? Spells in this game, yeah, if someone casts an ability like a spell like Mighty Guard, everyone else has to wait for a lot of different abilities, all right? But here's how fast Logos is. Watch this. The Mighty Guard cast goes off. Logos can't do anything. But then the cast finishes, and the gap between the time after the casting of the actual spell and the application of the effect, in that frame window between that, Logos is so fast he can still attack that Ronso for full damage before his next attack, which is then finally depleted by the Mighty Guard. That's how quick he is. How crazy is that? But yeah, if you beat the Ronso Hardliners, you actually unlock Kamari for this tournament, funnily enough. And once you beat Kamari on his own, and you beat Lulu on her own, you can actually get as a team the Old Guardians, and it's Lulu and Kamari together. So here we have Lucille. You're going to see the power of quick hitting. This is very similar to our strategy to defeating Chuck and the Vire Infinito. She has a turn ready, but she gets hit so fast, recoils so fast, she can never actually use anything. That'll get you through a lot of fights. And then Lulu got in there with an attack at the end there, a Turbo Water, but unfortunately by the time she cast it, Lucille was already dead. And by no surprise, Nuge has managed to battle his way to the final here. And I believe Nuge is just going to get owned as well. And he's not going to be able to do anything, so we won't be able to see Starfall. He's going to get killed in the same way as Lucille. But it's very hard to get to the point where that will happen. I'm going to 1-star just to see if he gets a chance. Let's see if he can do it. So here Lulu's using Turbo Water. And that's very, very, very important. And I'll show you guys why that's important in a second. So he's still getting chained down. No, I think he's basically, it's GG. He can't do anything. Or even on 1-star there, he got completely decimated. Oh, oh god, my screen just went weird. And it's because I kicked the wire at the desk. Oh god, guys, it's scary. I don't like how delicate my setup is at the moment. I need X-2 to be over so I can repair everything. Oh god. All right, and so here we got a Tetra bracelet. The rewards from this tournament are really, really, really significant. There are 4 potential things you can get. Tetra bracelet is one. I'll do one more tournament. We'll see what we get. It's RNG. And then I'll go into depth on what you can use the stuff on. Hopefully the second time we go through the tournament, we can see some more of the different teams. And then I've got some, I think, exciting but also sad stuff. All right, okay, so here we go. Check it out. You've got Old Guard. This is a new team. And that's Lulu and Kimahri together. Lulu actually uses her Fury. The enemy Lulu uses Furies against you. She also has Eaters for everything. She has Tetra Eater, so my Lulu can't kill the enemy Lulu at all. I think she even has Auto Reflect too. And Kimahri will use Jump and stuff like that. But here's the most deadly team of the entire tournament. We're going up against them in the first round is the X-Crimson squad. You actually have to fight fully powered Nuge, fully powered Barrelite, fully powered Gipple, all together, all at the same time. And we're going to see that match here. There is actually a chance that these guys can beat my team. It depends how the RNG of the battle goes. But this is actually very, 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 very difficult. Obviously, with 3 targets, Logos can only lock one of them out. Nuge is a huge threat. And we'll see what he can actually get going there. But Barrelite's already dead. Gipple's already dead. Well, no, Gipple's not already dead. They have some very cool abilities. Like, Gipple uses like a saw ability and called Grinder. There's actually a lot of interesting dialogue as well. So this is Lightfall, as you guys can see. There's a lot of dialogue associated with these characters for international only. Like Nuge says something really stupid, like "death is pleasure" or something like that. They all have interesting things they say. Now, if you watch Lulu here, she's going to cast a Turbo Water, but then as soon as that cast is over, because she's on yellow health, hopefully we'll get to see her do it. No. She actually has an ability called Vigor, which will mean she heals herself. We're also getting rare drops from every enemy, which in this case are Laws and Tomes, just because I have Butterfingers on Lulu for every battle. And there you go. That's the first round. Hopefully the Old Guard will get a bit further. Oh, and then the final team. Yeah, here we go. This is the final team. We're not going to go up against them, but as you can see there, it's Brother and Buddy. And you get to see a fully powered Brother and Buddy in this tournament too. But Brother actually has a really cool ability called Partying, which is a huge nuke explosion. Very cool. Logos being stood behind Lucille there. Obviously, he did ungodly damage. 30k a second. And managed to kill her there. Okay, and so we're going to go against the Old Guard in the final round. And there you go. That's the Youth League tournament. It's pretty cool. It's been really fun slowly struggling with this and finding it harder and harder and harder and grinding my way up. And I'll show you guys how those systems work in a second. So you're going to see just how tanky Kimahri is. There's a flare from Lulu. You'll notice that Logos had Shell on him. Why did he have that? Well, we shall see. There's a Turbo Water being reflected back onto us from enemy Lulu onto mine. I could go 1-star to save her life. But as you can see, my Lulu actually died. And then finally, when Kimahri went down, my Machina Hunter and Logos slammed him. So, how do you build a god? Well, this is the question. We get Mega Phoenixes for every round here, and you get a Speed Bracer. That's a good example as well. Okay. So, the 4 items you can get from that tournament is a Speed Bracer, a Defense Bracer, the Tetra Armlet, or whatever it was, and a Smooth Sailing. Remember the Super Ribbon item that super slows you down, and then also we could get in Chapter 4 from doing that dancing minigame, or you can actually farm those in that arena. Why are all of those so important? Let's take a look. First, let's pick a creature. Okay, let's pick one of our nice low-level ones, okay? Set for Lotus. He's been in my party for a while. He's only level 32, bless him. And what I want to do here is go into his special creature menu. So what we got is 3 different options here. I did briefly show this off before, but we're diving in now, all right? The bottom one is Unlearn. Basically, you can unlearn anything you like. You can unlearn auto abilities, like he comes as a Fiend with Water Eater, which means he absorbs water damage, which is cool. But if I want, I can get rid of that. He also comes with Gatling Seed, which is what you could trigger, Catnip with. He's got Seed Burst, which we could unlearn. Seed Cannon, which we could unlearn. The reason we can't unlearn Cure is because he's actually getting Cure from his garment grid. So you have to equip him on a different garment grid if you don't want him to have Cure, okay? But so you can unlearn any auto ability or regular ability you like. How does he relearn those? Well, he relearns those by winning tournaments or getting hit with specific things. Kind of like how if you flare Lulu, she'll learn Meteor and stuff like that. And different creatures have different auto abilities they'll naturally learn. This guy learns absorb water, but a Chocobo, for example, can innately, naturally learn auto haste. And they all have various things, okay? But if you don't want to rely on that Fiend's particulars to get certain stuff, like a lot of large Fiends will automatically come with break HP limit, and they'll automatically come with status defense, like another version of Ribbon. If you want to take it into your own hands, you totally can by feeding your Fiends, okay? So, let's just go items, okay? What this means is we're not going to throw a potion at Cephalotus here. We're actually going to feed it to him. And as you can see, by feeding him a potion, we teach him Cure. And we also, if you look at his health, we increase his max health by 1. Now, it takes 48 potions to increase his max health by 1, but we could do it. So we could teach it, we could feed him the 48 potions, then go unlearn, re-unlearn Cure, and there you go. We've just given him a permanent +1 health. And you can keep going with that. It's just really expensive. X potions are pretty good. They teach Curaga, and you get a reasonable amount of health, and you only need to spend 3. But you can basically only farm these from like the large cup and the large tournaments. So you could go through a ton of those to max his health out. But what else have you got? You can basically scroll down. So Mega Potion would make this guy start using White Wind, which as we all know is a pretty good defensive move that regens everyone up. Really good one here is a Turbo Ether. This teaches people Vigor. Vigor is a no cast time self-heal ability that will always restore about 50%, I think of it is, your max health. So if you spam up people's max health like mad using potions and stuff, and also teach them Vigor, the Fiends will be smart enough eventually that it takes like 10 turns or so for your Fiends to learn how to use their abilities properly, and the AI will work them correctly. When he goes into yellow health, he'll automatically Vigor himself, and they can keep themselves alive. So everyone on my team actually has Vigor from Turbo Ethers, okay? You got Life from Phoenix Downs. Full Life is from Mega Phoenixes. And as I scroll down, you guys can get an idea of the different things that you can learn. One of the other really cool ones from regular items. So there you can see the different gems, give you those. Dark Matters. We only got 2 of these ever. One of them was from... They were both from Tremor, sorry. And if you feed someone Dark Matter, they learn Meteor. I was using Meteor on Lulu for a while, but I eventually changed it out. Chocobo Wings will teach him how to cast Hastesia on people. And so on. And over here, you see you've got Twin Stars, SOS, Spellspring. I already showed you guys Lulu with that. And yeah. Items are kind of child's play, though, right? Generally speaking, you don't care, except for Vigor, you don't care about items. What you do care about are accessories. Accessories can give you almost anything under the sun. So, Iron Bangle to equip would raise his health by 20%, but if we make him eat it, we can increase his max health by 9 for just every 1, and you can actually farm those pretty comfortably. So, and that's the same for all of the different bangles, and as we scroll, you'll start to see that there's a lot of interesting effects that can come. You can teach people how to cast Auto Life with Pixie Dust. You can increase his magic strength permanently by a little bit with Crystal Balls. And when it gets to the really rare gear, and the gear that we were getting from those tournaments a second ago, you can really see how things start to become quite OP. For example, if you farm enough speed braces from the Youth League, you can give him Auto Haste. Yep, just straight up Auto Haste. Forever hasted at the start of battles. Now, you can teach, through items, any Fiend 4 auto abilities. Remember how in 10, their gear could give them 4 auto abilities in total, their armor slot? Well, it's kind of the same here. You can teach 4, so I could give them Auto Haste, Turbo White Magic, Turbo Arcana, and then one final thing, like Auto Regen here with this Recovery Bracelet, and then he's done. And then from that, and then from that point on, right, if he's maxed out, I might be like, I don't want Auto Regen anymore, and I could go and unlearn. Right, and then that's wasted the items, the accessories I've spent on learning it, but that's the way it works, okay? So you kind of get to make a build. You can pick 4 auto abilities. As it so happens, the items from the Youth League tournament are all pretty fantastic to feed your Fiends. First of all, you've got Speed Bracers, Auto Haste. So do loads of the Youth League tournament, get loads of Speed Bracers. You can also get Speed Bracers by bribing away Chocobos, but I never bothered with that. Get loads of Speed Bracers, feed 3 of them to your happy Fiends, the ones that you care most about. And there you go, you've got Auto Haste on everyone. That's why Logos has Auto Haste. Let's have a look at what else I've given them, okay? So that's basically the way it works. Let's look at Logos. Woo! Well, he's got a lot, hasn't he? He's got a lot more than 4 wooden potatoes, you say. Well, they all will become clear very soon. So what have we got here? We've got Auto Haste. Auto Haste, I just showed you how to get. We've also got Auto Wall. Auto Wall is Auto Shell and Auto Protect rolled into a single slot. How do you get auto wall? By feeding him defense braces, which again is one of the rewards from the Youth League tournament. So you just farm that tournament as much as possible. So he's got auto haste, auto shell, auto protect, all in just 2 slots. I've given him first strike, so he always gets the initial ability at the start of battles, even if we get ambushed. It's just an extra hit. It's nothing major. This one I could unlearn for something else. And he's also got Tetra Eater. So any element he gets hit with, he will absorb for himself. And it's not going to be a problem. That gets you through a wide range of encounters where there's dangerous spellcasters against you. And this you get from, once again, I believe one of the items we got from a tournament right in this very episode. You feed to them and you get the Eaters. Then he's got Ribbon, Break HP Limit, and Break Damage Limit. Where's he got those from, you ask? Well, he's got those from his regular gear. Yeah, you get 4 slots from feeding them items, but then you also get the regular gear will do things too. So if we go to Equip Logos and have a look at what he's got the higher power garment grid on. That's given him Break HP Limit and a bump to his HP as well, my ad. He's got Mascot on. That's given him Ribbon. That's where that auto abilities come from. Break Damage Limit he's got from Invincible, which is the only one I've got. And then lastly, he's got an Iron Duke, which is what we got for killing Tremor, and it's just buffed all of his stats up like mad. That's why he's at max strength. That's why he's at max or very high defense. That's why all of his stats are really high. But hold on, if you guys remember, Iron Dukes don't actually give you much luck. So how the hell has Logos maxed his luck? Well, that's where I'll show you guys the next stage. Okay, so you do loads of the Youth League tournament. You get those items. You teach your fiends all these magnificent auto abilities. But there's something else too. When you go to enter tournaments, as you beat teams in tournaments, you unlock them for the battle simulator. Okay, so there's something very important in the Cactuar Cup. In the Cactuar Cup, there is a Jumbo Cactuar on an enemy team. If you beat him, he'll appear here in the battle simulator, right? So once you beat the Cactuar Cup and seen the Jumbo Cactuar, you can, whenever you like, choose to rebattle him. Here's his team right here, Jumbo Cactuar. And I could just enter in like that, and I can spam up battles against him. This is really important. Lulu currently has the garment grid giving her a Butterfingers, so we're guaranteed the rare drop, okay? We killed the team in like just a matter of seconds, okay? And what you can do is luck grind, because check it out. We just got a Rabbite's Foot. That's gold gear. That's super rare gear. That's supposed to be super hard to get. And in like 2 seconds, I got it, because I've got on the list because of all the prep we've gone through. What can we do with the Rabbite's Foot? Well, check it out. If we go to Creature, we go to our Muck and a Hunter, who, as you guys can see, only has 39 luck, much lower, right? Luck in this game increases your chance to hit, increases your chance to evade, increases your chance to crit. Really powerful. Every single quick shot that Logos does crits, doubling his damage, because I grinded his luck up. And I did it really easily by feeding him Rabbite's Foots. Rabbite's Foots are supposed to be hard to get, but with the way we played the game, we can grind them easily. And each one we feed increases luck by 5. So if you look at his luck right now, it's going on up. And all you have to do is just go into a bunch of battles over and over and over again with the Jumbo Cactuar, and you can actually max out your character's luck stat. How cool is that? So how do we build his stats even further than this? He's level 99. He can't be on a better class. He can't be necessarily... There actually is a better garment grid we'll be unlocking very soon. How else can we keep Logos getting stronger? Well, what other stats do we want to try and get to 255? Well, agility. Agility was the main one that I really wanted to get to 255. And seeing how the Rabbite's Foot worked with luck, I was like, oh, there's got to be a way. There's got to be something out there that I can just farm and feed him tons of. Here's the funny thing. As far as I understand, there is nothing in the game that individually increases agility. Nothing. And so, how do I keep boosting it up? I've boosted his agility by about 50 points. How did I do that? Well, I did that with Smooth Shailings, all right? Smooth Shailings are one of the rare drops you can get from the Youth League Cup again. And by feeding someone a Smooth Shailing, it increases every single one of their stats by +5. Every single one. So in this way, I just keep feeding them, keep feeding them, keep feeding them, keep feeding them. And eventually, Logos would hit 255 on every single one of his stats. And he would have all the perfect little abilities, just a quick attack, he keeps spamming. And that, my friends, is how you build a god, basically. That is how you make, like, this incredibly OP character. And for what purpose, you're wondering, all right? So if you check it out, here's Lulu. Lulu's doing very well as well, by the way. She feels kind of like quite a weak character, to be honest. I could have picked a different Fiend with much higher innate defense and stuff. But I like the turbos, so whatever. So her auto abilities are quite different, as you can see. I've given her auto wall as well, and auto haste as well, very important. But I've actually given her magic booster so that she can actually hit a bit harder, and turbo black magic so she can cast her furies a bit quicker. And all she's got is vigor and turbo water. And then lastly, the Machina Hunter should only have one ability, and that is impale as well as vigor. Now, another thing you can actually teach your fiends that is pretty cool, and I wanted to wait to do a video, is howl. Howl is a pretty cool ability. If you guys want to use this as a guide, I really do recommend this. Howl is what you can teach them from feeding them Nature's Law. No, Nature's Laws is Crackdown. Crackdown's very important as well. Crackdown will allow you to get through Mighty Guards and stuff because it's just D-Spell Strike, basically. So Crackdown's very good, and like I've been wanting to teach my Machina it for a while, actually. But you can teach them Howl as well. Is it just a regular item that you teach them with Howl? There's a garment grid you can equip that gives them Howl as well. Anyway, Howl, there it is. There it is. Howl with stamina tablets, okay? So it costs 8 tablets. They are fairly farmable. But now that Logos has got Howl, what he's going to do at the start of each battle, we'll go into another tournament so you guys get more of an idea of what's going on. Let's scroll up here. This video is weird because there's so much for me to talk about, but so little to show right now, and I'll show you why in a second. But hey, you know, this is I'm enthusiastic about that. I like this a lot, so whatever. I won't worry too much. All right, we'll go back into the Youth League tournament. When Logos learns how to use Howl properly after a few turns, basically we'll start every battle. You know that first strike I gave him? He will instantly Howl, doubling his max health. Then he should Vigor very quickly afterwards. And then we have like a 22,000 health. Auto-shelled, auto-protected, auto-everything Logos, who then just begins this ridiculous quick attack spam. So here's his Howl here. The thing is, this when you're grinding through the tournaments, it's not so important. It doesn't feel so important because he's just wasting time doing this here, you see? There is something else I want to talk about, though. That Turbo Water, while Lulu's casting that, it stalls out everything else. As long as your characters are using regular attacks, they will continue to spam through them. So there's a way of like animation locking. People like to use Black Sky and abilities like this. Here's a perfect example. If Kamari didn't die too quickly, Kamari can't do anything while Lulu's Turbo Water is going on. But Logos and the Machina Hunter, who just have regular attacks, not magic attacks that are going to get caught behind a Q, they can keep going. So even though Lulu's Turbo Water might not feel that great, it's perfect because it stalls the enemies for like 10 seconds, or maybe a bit less, maybe 5 to 7 seconds, where the enemy can't do anything, but Logos is just spamming out all these free attacks constantly. And Lulu is always going to get that ability. See, all this time with this animation, Logos can keep going, and enemies can't do anything. That's very important for some of the harder fights we'll be seeing very soon. There you go. That's how you can basically chain people down with very quick-hitting teams. That's Lulu. That's the importance of Meteor, Black Sky, these turbo abilities. And the other cool thing as well with that is it's building a chain, right? So Logos's attacks. I love the way that the damage is balanced in this game. He has 255 strength, and as high as it will go, unless we use something like strength up, which totally isn't worth it. As high as it will go, possibly. And we're still not at 99,999. So it feels really good to build these super huge chains because you can continue building and build. It feels like there's no cap there. Do you get what I mean? That's what's so cool about this strat. I really like it because then he's getting the 30k hits, the 40k hits. And it feels like as long as you can keep the chain going, it will keep going. And the faster I can get that Machina Hunter, the more we can keep chaining. So that's the team of all the girls there. And there we go. That's the tournament done. We score a Mega Phoenix. We get a Speed Bracer. At first, I really desperately wanted the Speed Bracers. Getting auto haste on everyone's really important. But really what I want now are smooth sailings because they're just infinite stat boosts as long as you can get lucky enough to get them by grinding the tournament enough. But so to what end was my original question. Why are we doing all of this with potatoes? What is the point? We've just obliterated all of the tournaments. None of these early ones are going to stand a chance. Well, that's a very good point, actually. Why are we doing it? We have 3 more slots down here. Surely we want to get them. There are indeed 3 more tournaments. And I want to show them to you guys. But I have a problem. When you recruit fiends into your team, what they should do is come in at the average level of your girls. So, when we were at the bottom of the Via Infinito, I did not push all 3 of my girls to level 99. I did that for a very important reason. I did that so that new fiends we capture come in at less than level 99. So check it out. We've got Yuna at 90, Riku at 96, Pain at 98. Pain only just hit 98 when I was grinding for a special dress fit stuff. So, in theory, if we recruit a Fiend, the average level of the 3 girls is what? Somewhere around 95, I'd say, right? And that's good, because if it's around 95, I can bring a Fiend in, level it up 5 times, max out its Fiend tail, and release it. But I have a problem. The Fiends that I'm adding to my team are not coming in at level 95. I don't know why. They're coming in at level 99. This Dark Element, right, is a Fiend I just caught a second ago. He came into my party at level 99. This is a huge problem. This is a problem I told you guys about at the start of Chapter 5. When we first began, I said, look, just a warning for people playing along with me. As Chapter 5 goes along, you may want to watch out for this. Why is this such a huge problem? Well, check it out. Let's go back to the Creature Creator menu. We now have this Dark Elemental on our team. Let's say I don't want the Dark Elemental. I don't think I don't want him as a replacement of Lulu, so we want to get rid of him, right? So we go to Creature History. We see all of our Fiends running around there. We go to the Dark Elemental, we highlight him, and this is where you would release him. So we go release. Oh, wait. You can only release them once you finish their Fiend Tails. But I can't finish his Fiend Tail. I have story level 1. When I realized it was already too late, I slipped and fell into the river. I don't remember what came next. Soon I realized that I'd become a Fiend. What a bummer. Alright, great, mate. I want you to leave, but he won't. He's stuck now. He is stuck with me. And so to unlock the other tournaments, I can't get Fiends on my team to level them up, to release them, to unlock the new tournaments and do those extra stories that are available there in the game. I can't do it because they're coming in at level 99. It's broken, basically. I'm sure this is an oversight from the devs. It really, really sucks. Now, here's the thing. Technically speaking, there is a way to level the Fiends' tails without giving them combat levels. So I can take that level 99 Dark Elemental and I can get his Fiend tail higher. How do I do that? Well, by completing tournaments. But the higher level your Fiend is, the more difficult tournament you need. So for example, if I have a level 2 Cactuar, I can complete the Standard Cup and it will give him some Fiend levels, right? Irrespective of combat levels or anything like that, it will do it. But if I have like a level 40 Cactuar, I maybe need to complete the Youth League tournament to be able to do it. I have a level 99 Dark Elemental. The only tournament that is good enough to increase his story level is the last one in the game, which I don't have unlocked because he's on my team because I can't level his story level. So I'm in a catch-22, you see? I can't do it. So let's go back to the question. To what end? Why have I grinded all of this then if I can't do it? Because I want to show you guys. Tremor is not the only super boss in 10-2 International. There is more to see. There are storylines for us to experience. There is cool stuff out there. So what is our solution? Well, our solution is quite basic, actually. I'll see you guys in Befell. Welcome back to Cloister Infinity. In the background there, you can see Paragon waiting around with us. He's going to be there with a little Tombury friend of his. And let's see, alright, Dark Elemental, you want to screw me over? Let's see how you can handle this ultimate fight. Now, we could go a floor down, or we can interact with the Tombury to fight Paragon again. And he'll move on in. And there we go. Paragon swings at us. Dark Elemental versus Paragon. Oh, wooden potatoes, I see what you're saying. By beating Paragon with a Fiend, that's going to allow you to... Wow, I'm surprised that the Dark Elemental actually tanked that. Man, and he hit hard with his flare as well. Let's see how he does against Genesis, shall we? This is kind of crazy. I was expecting him to just get one shot with this. No, defeating Paragon at the bottom of the Via Infinito does not miraculously increase your Fiend level or anything like that. What I'm actually trying to do right now... Oh my god, he absorbed! No, what? You're supposed to die! There you go, Big Bang. Alright, let's see if he can survive a Big Bang. He countered with Big Bang, I guess, because Absorb penetrates defense. There we go. And it didn't do 99,999. That's funny. It did 69,000. That is crazy. So the solution to this, guys, is to kill ourselves. No, not in that way. But what happens by getting a game over is the game actually allows you to make a new game plus. Yeah. We're going to make a new game plus. Why? Well, you'll see. See, here's the cool thing. When you make a new game plus, it resets the girls' levels back to all the way back down to level 1 and level 2 and level 2. Fine. But you get to keep all of your items. Not only this, but in International, you get to keep all of your fiends. Not only this, but all the items and special abilities and things that you fed your fiends to give them stat perks and you know, auto abilities. All of that stuff you also keep, as you can see here. So I can actually start a new game plus file with a Logos, who despite being like level 1 or 2, absolutely is an abominable monster that destroys everything. So, since this is completely unrelated to the rest of the game, all I have to do is just create a quick little new game plus file. And here, I can once again recruit fiends into my team. And I can unlock all of the cups. And I can actually have another shot at this. So what does this mean? This means between now and next episode, I have to get back to Chapter 5 on this new game plus file. I'll probably skip, like, everything. And it also means I need to re-level Logos, Lulu, and the Machina Hunter back to level 99. Shouldn't be too hard, given some of the Fiend team that was in the arena. And from that point on, we may actually be able to see some of the other tournaments. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding. And the next episode, we should see the final tournaments and the final super bosses and stories of the game. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Oh, the holes we are dug in. X2, you just will not end, will you? Great. I'll see you guys tomorrow.